Hello, everyone. Today I am going to talk to you about the only difference between a normal drinker, whatever that means to you, and who you are when you are trapped in your daily drinking cycle. Now, most of my clients come to me totally confused by their drinking. They cannot understand how they go into this cycle every day of waking up in the morning feeling like, oh, Jesus Christ, why did I do that again? Making a promise to themselves that they won't drink tonight, feeling just that little bit better that they've made the decision they're not going to drink. And then as the day wears on, maybe it's a tiring day, maybe it's a stressful day, whatever, that voice starts to come back into their head. That one that's sort of saying, oh, it'll be different tonight. Just the one. It's not that bad. And then they go into battle with the other voice in their head saying, don't do it. You know what will happen. Remember how bad you felt this morning. And they go into this tug of war. They're pulling themselves apart, battling the fight that no one can see, no one else can hear. And they end up giving in and drinking. And often they say, you know what, it'll just be a glass. Tonight will be different. It'll be a glass, but it never is. One glass becomes two, two becomes the bottle. You're then drunk. And then you wake up the next morning with a headache, feeling guilty, feeling ashamed, feeling whatever it is. You know how you feel. And the cycle starts again. So, what most of my clients want to do is they want to be like some of the friends they see that can have a glass of wine and stop, that can have a glass of wine and sip it slowly, and maybe even can leave some wine at the end of the evening and it doesn't mean anything to them. Whereas they, like me, although in an earlier version of me, was watching everything that everyone else was drinking. Would there be enough for me? Would it be okay to get another bottle? And feeling totally and utterly controlled by my desire to drink. Not only feeling totally and utterly controlled, completely powerless. Do you recognize yourself there? Okay. So there is only one difference between what you perceive to be a normal drinker, someone that can take it or leave it, someone that can have a couple of glasses of wine and then stop, someone that's not feeling 100%, so doesn't have a glass of wine at all, like a miracle, and you who feel powerless and helpless around alcohol. And this is what that one difference is. This is the basis of my work. This is the basis of how I help countless women and men find peace and ease and control around alcohol. The only difference between a normal drinker and you in your struggle is that they don't believe that alcohol will bring them any sort of comfort. They don't believe that alcohol will help them relax. They don't believe that alcohol will help them unwind. They don't believe that alcohol will numb out any painful memories. And they don't struggle with the alcohol noise, which is that internal fight that's going on, that you can feel it building. It feels like a force inside you building as you battle, and no one else can see and no one else can hear, and you end up drinking. They don't have any of that. So why don't they have any of that? And why do you have that? Your problem drinking has very little to do with alcohol. Incredible though that may seem, considering the damage and the pain and the guilt and the shame we feel about ourselves, our behavior, and the hurt we see in our loved ones' eyes, we hold a belief that alcohol in the moment will make us feel better. We feel that in the, or felt, I no longer am in that place, and I can easily drink socially or not drink at all. You feel that you have to have a drink. You feel you have to. And I'm not talking about addiction. I'm not talking about addiction. I am talking about emotional dependency, which is very different, but I'm not talking about a physical addiction here. The normal drinker doesn't run through those hoops every day of bargaining with themselves, with pleading with themselves. They don't have any of that. They don't come to the end of the day and think, a glass of wine will help. They're perfectly happy to have a cup of tea. They don't believe that alcohol is any solution to any problem they have in their life. And if you were to say to them, well, don't you think about having a drink? They look at you and say, no, why would I? They don't believe alcohol brings them something. You do. And that is where the problem with your drinking actually lies, in the belief you hold that alcohol is any sort of comfort. And that battle you go through on a daily basis has got nothing to do with alcohol either. That's you fighting you over your desire to drink and your desperation to not drink. You know the consequences of your drinking, but in the moments of those consequences, although you know them, they don't have any emotional impact. The need to feel better, to shut down the alcohol noise, is much greater than the consequences tomorrow morning. Do you recognize yourself in that? The intention behind the first drink you have is to feel better. The result the next morning is why you hate your drinking. There is a big difference between the intention. The intention always is to feel better, to relax, to unwind, to have a bit of you time, whatever it is, to not think about your painful memories, to cope with grief, whatever. The intention, the emotional intention drives your drinking, not alcohol. And if that doesn't make quite sense to you, if you know someone that struggles with their food, who hates the way they look, who hates the way that they can't find anything that fits them, and they're just embarrassed and ashamed, and they're always on a diet and they're always going up and down, they hold the belief that food is a source of comfort. The result of their eating is what brings them to tears and hates their body. The intention before they eat is to feel better. Same with shopping, gambling, any other addictive behavior any other behavior that you think, why am I doing this? Because it is an emotional addiction, and that's okay because that's easy to deal with. But when you're trying to change anything, you don't look at what you're doing, you look at the intention behind it before you do it. The results, you're very clear about those. You feel awful, you hate the way you've behaved, you hate the way you feel, you hate the puffiness, the lethargy, you hate the headaches, you hate all that. But in the moment before you drink, even though you have an awareness of those, they are overruled by your emotional need to feel a little bit better. Now, that is the only difference between someone who is struggling to change their drinking and someone who is a normal drinker, whatever that may be to you. I work to break the illusion of alcohol, and the illusion of alcohol is a source of comfort. And you can understand that intellectually, but in the moment of struggle or stress, the feeling of having to have it, having to do it, having to shut down that noise outweighs everything you intellectually know, because what you intellectually know does not impact on the belief that you hold that alcohol is a source of comfort. And your beliefs run 98% of your behavior. You are your beliefs. You are not your drinking is not you. If it was you, it would not cause you pain. No part of you causes you pain. No part of who you really are causes you pain. Your problem with alcohol is the belief you hold that it offers comfort, and you try to fight that, which means you're trying to fight your need for comfort. And it's like a poisonous splinter that's embedded in you, but only until you see the alcohol illusion. You know how to walk out of the alcohol illusion. When there's no alcohol illusion, there's no alcohol noise. There's no internal fight. There's nothing to fight. So if you are interested in becoming a normal drinker, whatever that means to you, someone who's in ease and control. I was an alcoholic for 29 years. I was away at the weekend with my brother. I had 2 glasses of wine over Friday and Sunday. And I sat with him on the deck. Oh my God, it's heaven. And we just chatted. He was drinking whiskey. He's never had a drinking problem. I had 2 glasses of wine. That shouldn't be possible. It shouldn't be possible for someone who's an alcoholic. What I understand is I was an emotional alcoholic, not a physical one. And 90, well, I'm going to say 99.9% of my clients are also emotionally addicted, not physically, but they don't understand the belief. They don't understand how it shows up in cravings, willpower, the confusion in their head. They don't understand how simple it is to change that, to find release from that. And in that not knowing, they lack clarity and confidence, and they're stuck in the mud of fear and uncertainty. Changing your drinking is not hard. Changing your drinking is easy. And you will not change it by focusing on alcohol. So if you'd like to know more about me, please follow me here. I used to be called I used to call this page Insights from a Formerly Drunk Mother, but I think more powerful and more truthful is I'm all about breaking the illusion of alcohol, walking you out of it, helping you recognize when it comes up. Because when you recognize it, rather than going into the illusion, you can take a breath, use some very simple strategies, and you can walk out and you don't drink it. It's like, wow, this is a miracle. This is a miracle because you haven't fought. If you fight, you lose. When you don't fight, when you observe, when you have the very simple strategies I've created my clients use, change your drinking is easy. So if you'd like to know more, please subscribe and follow me. If you know of anybody who you think this might help, please point them in my direction of subscribing and following me. And if you are ready to change your drinking and you are ready to do it now and you're ready to do it with clarity, confidence, and ease, and it doesn't have to be a never again solution, that's up to you, then contact me. Have a miraculous day. Take care.